I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And I drink.
So what are we drinking tonight, Mitch?
Our beer tonight is Gun IPA, brewed and canned by Funky Buddha Brewery in Orlando Park, Florida. 7% alcohol by volume. They don't really put anything on the cans that we got, but the 6-pack did come in a little cardboard box, so let's read the box. Meet your new wingman. If you're looking for hops, we've got your tail. Gun IPA delivers a payload of good old American hops straight to your palate, bursting forth with the flavors of grapefruit and pineapple. A careful dose of smooth caramel malt swoop in to balance out the finish, just like any good wingman should. What I have to say about it, this is not your traditional IPA. It's a little lighter and more crisp. The tangy fruits really overpower any kind of bitter that you normally get out of an IPA, so it makes it a lot more tolerable for just about anybody, I'd say. Like a middle-of-the-road beer drinker, somebody who doesn't really care. Oh, you haven't tried it yet? Here.
Gimme.
Try it. Well, it's just, I just think it's nice and middle of the road.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I like that a lot.
I do too.
2 thumbs up from me.
Well, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Good choice.
That was my score.
Also, I like punny names, and that one's a good one.
Mm-hmm. It is really cool. Gun IPA. Find it wherever you find beer, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially in Florida. Mm-hmm. Our liquor for the night is Stills Crossroads Alabama Peach Shine. Distilled and bottled by High Ridge Spirits, LLC, in Troy, Alabama. 20% alcohol by volume. Let's read the bottle. Distilled spirit specialty. Spirits distilled from rye and cane with grain-neutral spirits, natural peach juice, and cane sugar added. There's also a very long thing on the bottle that I believe is probably on all their bottles because it's the story of their distillery, kind of. So I didn't put that on there because it should be on every bottle. Mm-hmm. And before we get into it, I'll just say that I believe that we'll get more of these bottles anyway, so, we'll see what they got. Yeah, what I have to say about it, this is incredibly sweet, light, and refreshing. The low alcohol content almost makes it feel more like a wine cooler than a liquor, because it's just 20%, so it's not hard liquor or anything, but...
I thought it said 40%.
No, it's 40 proof.
Oh.
20% alcohol.
That's not much.
No, it's not much at all.
That's why this shit's delicious.
Yeah, but it's real freaking good.
It's so good.
So we need to find more from High Ridge and have them on the show as well. I did find out that they don't have a Twitter, so...
Well, that's sad.
They're not part of what we're drinking Wednesdays. I mean, the picture is, and I tweeted about them, but I didn't tweet to them like I do with everybody else where I tag them in it, so...
Well, we can go down to Troy and knock on their door and be like, hey, get yourselves a Twitter. Hey.
Treat yourselves.
Of course, then we would have to drive to Troy, and that is a long-ass drive, so maybe not.
Here, it wasn't that long when we lived in Montgomery, but
good.
But I give this a 9 out of 10 on ice. It's dangerous because it just tastes like you're drinking really sweet juice, like a Minute Maid or something.
It's so good.
And that's the problem, is you could drink this, quickly and not think that you're drinking something alcoholic and have a problem. I gave it a 10 out of 10 with ginger ale. That's what we mixed it with today. Really freaking good. So it gets a 9.5 out of 10 overall.
Y'all, and with that ginger ale, it's sort of the perfect cocktail for right now, because you sort of got that peachy, summery vibe, but then you've got that spicy ginger fall kind of thing going on. So it's just sort of a nice in-between cocktail for this time of year, and I'm digging it, and I'm going to have a few.
Yeah.
So enjoy that.
It's really good. And as y'all have noticed, if you are a frequent listener, we normally have the liquors on twice. This one might get drank outside of the podcast before we have it on again.
I'm afraid I'm going to drink all of it. But
because it's almost not a liquor. It's like 20%.
It legitimately, when you mix it with a little bit of ginger ale, it tastes like if you grew up drinking eating canned peaches, the juice from the inside of a canned peaches, that's sort of what it tastes like, but not as like syrupy. You know what I mean? Like it's the good version of like a spiced canned peach. And it's so good.
I can agree with that. It's
and I don't mean canned
really
like from the grocery store. I mean like your mama or your grandmama got peaches and canned them, like good shit.
Yes, like it's natural syrup.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's really freaking good. So if they have other things, which I'm sure they do, nobody has just a peach as their flagship, but
or maybe
we're
they
gonna
do.
have to find
I don't
some
know,
more.
but that's a good flagship if they picked it.
Yeah. It's just so light that it really almost isn't a liquor, so
I'm fine with that.
it just rolls not off the tongue, but over the tongue.
Ooh.
I have grossed myself out. We are done. See you next week. Oh, well, that's it for the alcohols.
Excellent.
What do we have next, Leah?
Well, I just wanted to do a little bit of an update.
Update me.
Well, a few weeks ago, on the episode that's titled #Team Moon Possums, we informed you that the Madison County, Madison City, I guess, Madison City was getting a minor league baseball team, and that they had submissions for naming that thing. Well, tonight was the night that they came out and told everybody what they had picked, and I am very sorry to say that my beloved #Team Moon Possums is not going to come to fruition, but we are going to get my second pick because we would like to introduce to you today the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yay!
That is right. We will be celebrating the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
I just realized something. I thought that I had applause on here, but I don't, so this is what we're gonna go with. Hold on, there we go. There. I thought there was applause on the sound effects, but I don't see applause anywhere, so.
Also, do you know how many people have personally DM'd us and commented and told us how much they really wish you would nod on that?
Well, that's okay. It's going to be light and not done often, so I'm gonna keep it.
Well, we've gotten him to restrain himself just a little bit, y'all.
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see how that goes. But seriously, if you still have a problem, let me know.
But yes, the fun part is I already texted some friends of mine that still live in Montgomery. I said I'll see y'all at the first Biscuits Trash Pandas game.
Oh my God, I need that T-shirt.
I know, I want one.
Biscuits versus Trash Pandas.
It's sad that Moon Possums isn't the team, but
because it still should have been the Moon Possums.
What's fun is what we should do on this show is there was a giant conspiracy theory that Thunder Sharks was just the pick beforehand, and they had uniforms ready and everything, and they just were like, we're gonna make them think that they're choosing the team name.
But they're not.
But Thunder Sharks was pre-picked. Well, because everybody thought Thunder Sharks was fucking stupid.
Everybody.
And you know what happened? Thunder Sharks came in second. So obviously not everybody thought it was fucking stupid.
I don't know anybody that didn't vote for either the Trash Pandas or the Moon Possums.
Yeah.
That were the clear front runners.
Yeah.
And
this is ridiculous.
They came in number 2, excuse me?
Yeah. It was
Sharks?
a giant thing too. Trash Pandas got 45%. Thunder Sharks got 19%. And Moon Possums got 13, I think.
Ugh.
Oh God,
I'm disgusted with you, Madison City. Disgusted.
Oh. But
it's okay. I like Trash Pandas too. I'll get some raccoon merch.
Rocket City Trash Pandas game.
Oh my gosh, you remember your raccoon costume that I made you a few years ago?
It wasn't a raccoon costume, Leah. It was the coon from South Park.
Well, yes, but that is technically
I was
a raccoon
the coon
costume
for Halloween, and it was awesome.
Well, guess what you can start wearing to the games?
I can be the coon every night, every time. I will 100% wear that coon outfit.
I'll just make you a T-shirt that says Trash Pandas. That'd be great.
I will 100% do that. I love that idea.
Well, that was my update. I thought y'all should know, since y'all are probably, I bet you're not invested, but that was one of our biggest downloads.
Pins and needles since they've heard about it.
Thought you should know.
I don't think that it was our biggest download because of the Moon Possums thing. I think it was because the episode was 2 hours long and about a cult.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But whatever, #Moon Possums. Anyway, moving on. Are you ready for a funny place name?
Yes, I surely am.
Well, today we're going to the great state of Texas.
Tejas, again.
And we are going to Bigfoot, Texas.
There's a Bigfoot, Texas?
There's a Bigfoot, Texas.
Okay, then. There's a Bigfoot, Texas, y'all.
It's located in Frio County, Texas. It has a population of around 450 people. And the settlement, it's not named after what you think it's named after, and it makes me sad.
You mean Yeti?
Yeah, it's not named after a Bigfoot. It's named, so it says, this is from Wikipedia. It says the first settlement at Bigfoot was made in the 1860s, but the community was called Connolly's Store. Probably because there was a store there called Connolly's Store.
Somebody named Connolly had a store.
Yeah. And until the post office was established in 1883. So then when they established the post office, they've got to have a name. Like all of these, a lot of these stories start out with, well, shit, we've got a post office now. We got to name ourselves.
Yeah, there are quite a few of those that we've had already.
So now that they've got the post office in 1883, they've got to have a formal name. So they decided to name the place Bigfoot in honor of a Texas Ranger named William A. Wallace, and his nickname was Bigfoot, and he was a former resident of the town. So he was William Bigfoot Wallace, and that is who Bigfoot, Texas is named after.
Well, that's upsetting. So he had real big feet?
I don't know why he was called Bigfoot. I mean...
You know why he was called Bigfoot.
I mean...
Because he had big old socks.
That shouldn't be funny.
He wore real big wool socks. His feet were always sweating.
Oh, in Texas, wool sounds itchy. All right. Yeah. Well, that was our funny place name.
I enjoyed it. Hope everybody out there enjoyed it too.
I'm sure they did. Well, you know what?
What?
That was awkward.
I don't have applause. I think that's what I was confusing the applause for, was the laugh track.
Well, I'm afraid that you're not going to have much of a reason to use that particular sound effect in our first story.
We'll see.
It's not next.
We'll see. I'll laugh somewhere.
Oh, sweetie, I don't know.
We'll see.
Because we're going to Donaldsonville, Georgia.
Okay.
And we're talking about the All-Day murders.
All Day?
All Day. It's a last name. It's Alday. The All Day murders.
All right. I thought you were mispronouncing Aldi for a second, and somebody murdered somebody in the cheap produce.
No. All Day. It's a last name.
Okay.
So this story starts out with some incarcerated folk in Maryland. 19-year-old Carl Isaacs is the main guy. And he was imprisoned at the Maryland's Poplar Hill Correctional Institute, and he had a half-brother that was also incarcerated there, so great job, family. His half-brother's name was Wayne Coleman, and like I said, they got together and they were like, look, y'all, we're going to escape this place. It was a minimum security prison, so it must not have been that hard. And so Carl was like, yeah, let's take this other guy with us. He can help us along the way. He was a little bit older than those two, and I cannot find what their precise ages were, but whatever. Anyway, so this other guy's name that is not related to them, their name is George Dungy.
Dungy?
Dungy, Dungee.
Okay.
And so all three of them get together and they hatch a plan to escape from this bullshit. So they got together, they climbed through a bathroom window, jumped out said window, ran to the woods surrounding the prison, and hid out for a little while. Then they stole a car and they headed south. And along the way south, they picked up Carl's younger brother and also a half-brother of Wayne. And his name is Billy Isaacs. So you've got Carl Isaacs, Billy Isaacs, Wayne Coleman, which is the half-brother, and then this other guy named George Dungy. So all four of them are in this car that's been stolen, and they're heading for the border. They're trying to get to Mexico or Florida. Not sure which, whatever they hit first, right?
Okay. Mexico or Florida from Georgia or
from Maryland? Which,
well, one of them's a whole lot further than the other.
You'd think.
So.
But I mean, this shit ends up happening in Georgia, so you'd think they're just going down the coast into Florida, but it says Florida or Mexico.
When was this? What year?
It happened in 1973.
Okay. I was going to say, they should know that Mexico is a lot more east.
You gotta go further than that, y'all.
I'm sorry. I don't... Fucking shit. It's a
it.
long way east.
You gotta go all the way around for that.
Much further to go east of Mexico than west from there.
Yeah.
But...
So anyway...
Beside the point.
So they decided, they've got to have money to get anywhere, and they need gas to fill up the car to get that far. So they started out on a string of robberies. So they robbed stores and houses and all sorts of stuff along their way. And then they make it all the way to Georgia. And on May the 14th of 1973, they roll up on sort of a rural area, and they see a trailer that doesn't look like anybody's home. And they spot a gas pump behind the house. And they're like, well, shit, we need gas. That place doesn't look like it's got anything in it.
Yeah.
Let's go steal some fucking gas.
How awesome would it be if we had a gas pump in the backyard?
I know, right? So they went and they started ransacking the property while a couple of them were pumping gas. Some of them went in to steal all the shit. Mm-hmm. Well... Turns out that trailer was not abandoned. They were just out working the fields on the farms. And so the man who lived there, Ned Alday, and his son Jesse returned to the trailer to get gas for their tractors. Uh-oh. Well, they found the Isaac brothers and Coleman and Dungy right in the middle of fucking up all their shit. And Isaac shot them. Just one by one, kabang, kabang.
Well, look, put yourself in his shoes. You got to get rid of the
people
witnesses.
that are... Well, so
come on.
He's killed Ned and Jesse, and then one by one, the rest of the family starts showing up, coming to the trailer for gas for their tractors or whatever. And they end up shooting... Let's see... They end up shooting Ned and Jimmy and Jerry and Chest and Mary, and they shoot everybody except for the wife of the household.
Well, Jesus.
Yeah, and they, after this crime scene was discovered, they were concerned and they couldn't figure out why they couldn't find her. Well, they found her body days later, and it had been sexually assaulted.
Oh, my God.
And they murdered her as well. So, that was awful.
Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But this was actually the most bloody massacre in Georgia history since the Wolf Fork Axe murders, which we have already talked about on this podcast. So, this is a huge deal in, Georgia crime history because these fugitives just fucking show up for no good reason. These families this family wasn't involved in anything, nothing, just... Like out of a fucking horror movie, they show up and start getting shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to ask if it was possible that it was a meth trailer.
Mitchell. These poor people just got murdered.
No, they didn't. It was 1973. They didn't just get murdered.
In our story, they just did.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, you should feel bad about yourself.
I mean, okay. I always feel bad about myself.
Well,
so saying something like meth trailer is not going to make that worse.
Still, you should have a little bit of decorum when the people just got murdered. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the police eventually figured out, oh shit, these people, there's a string of robberies coming down to here. Anyway, they ended up apprehending them. And today, Wayne Coleman is still serving a life sentence in prison. George Dungy died in prison.
Good.
Billy Isaacs, who was the younger brother who was only like 14 when it happened, he got 20 years for armed robbery, and he was released, but he has since passed away.
They picked him up, you said.
They picked him
when
up,
they
yeah.
escaped. How did they let him know where they were? Did they find a payphone or something, I'm guessing?
They probably went to his house, and because that was his brother.
Okay,
They probably
well, you
went to
said-
the house and said,
yeah.
hey, come on, bro, we're going to
Okay, yeah.
Mexico.
You said they picked him up. I wasn't sure if they met him
Yeah,
somewhere or something. But he
no.
was 14.
Yeah, he was 14. And I mean, the mastermind of this whole thing was only 19 when it happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well,
So
ugh.
I think the oldest one of them was like 30, and that was the Dungy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd I go? Anyway, so he got 20 years, and like I said, he died shortly after being released from prison. And then Carl Isaacs, the guy who started all of this, was sentenced to lethal injection in 2003. Now, shot in the dark.
Well, I was ready.
What was Carl Isaacs' final meal?
Oh, God.
Was it A,
I love these things.
2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream and a porterhouse steak well done?
Ugh.
Was it B, pork chops, macaroni, pinot beans, and cabbage? Or was it C, a KFC bucket of chicken and a gallon of lemonade?
Can we go back to the second one? Did you say pinot beans?
Pinto beans.
Okay. Well, just because I think this guy is a sick motherfucker, he probably ate a well-done steak. A.
You're wrong.
Ah, God damn it, you motherfucker, with your dumb bullshit with your well-done steak.
No, he actually requested, instead of a final meal, Isaacs asked for a regular institutional tray, and that day it was pork, macaroni, pinto beans, cabbage, carrot salad, dinner roll, chocolate cake, and fruit punch, but he pushed it away and didn't eat anything.
No.
And his final words were he declined to make a final statement, but he did ask for the chaplain to do a final prayer, and after the prayer he said amen. So that is technically the last thing he said before they killed him through lethal injection.
Some people would say he's redeemed. I don't agree with those people, Leah. I said some people would say that.
I mean, judge not. That's not my business. I'm not going to ask.
I say judge plenty.
Well,
because that guy is a fucking psychopath.
oh yeah, definitely an asshole, but
I will judge
still,
him however much I want.
that ain't
All right.
my job.
Shot time.
All right.
Ready? Count me down.
5, 4.
Okay, not 39, 38. No, Leah, just 3, 2, 1. That's...
Well, you didn't say where you wanted to start.
You're right. Start at 17.
17.
No, God damn it. I'm taking the shot. Oh. Oh.
How was it?
Ooh, it gets rough. Ooh.
Rough how? Just too sweet?
It tastes
or
fine.
weird, or?
No, it tastes fine. It's just that you actually get some alcohol on it.
Alrighty.
You know? Whew.
So yeah,
It was fine, though. It tastes pretty good.
That was the all-day murders.
Oh, that's everything on the first story?
That was everything.
Well, all right. That was a fun one.
That wasn't fun at all.
Well, no, I don't mean like I enjoy... That's wrong, because I did enjoy it. I was going to say, I don't mean like in a subjective sense of mind.
Uh-huh.
But like, what's the point of our show if we're not supposed to get some kind of enjoyment or entertainment out of the stories?
Well, I mean...
Even though they're dark and weird and terrible.
Macabre, creepy, and strange, you mean?
I think that's what I meant.
I mean, I get it, but still... Yeah.
I had an enjoyable experience.
Okay,
Can we
excellent.
say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, would you like to have a slightly more enjoyable experience, although there is technically a higher body count?
All right, well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. No.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing.
You never... The singing... Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you never watch commercials in the 90s?
I mean, I guess, but, you know, I've had other things happen in my life since then. Those things got pushed out.
Well, someone doesn't watch nostalgic commercial compilations on YouTube now.
You do that?
they?
You do that?
Like, a couple times.
We're getting a divorce.
Okay. I'm fine with it.
I can't be associated with you. I could not be associated with this.
I like the Nostalgia Critic, and they have a bunch of...
They do commercials?
Yeah,
he
there's
does
a whole bunch of reviewing, like, ridiculous nostalgic commercials, and I really like it.
You know, y'all may have just heard Samus bark. If you didn't, just forget it. But anyway, we're discovering more and more just how much of a fucking nerd Leah is.
I thought you knew.
Jesus, no, I knew, but every once in a while something surprises me and I go, Jesus, what am I doing?
I haven't done it in a long time, but...
Oh, well then we're fine, because I'm sure you won't do it again. So what's the point? I haven't murdered in a real long time.
Watching commercials and murdering are something that are entirely different.
Everybody has their vices.
Yes, but mine aren't criminal. Usually.
I mean, that can be argued about watching old 90s commercials. That's pretty criminal.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry
whatever.
you don't love me anymore because I watch commercials.
I didn't say that. I said that I don't think I could. Like, we can stay married, but I might have to move out. And we might not have to be seen in public anymore.
More space for me.
Yeah, no, we need it. We need a house to ourselves, just like on the same plot of land.
You can move to the barn. It'll be great.
No, I'm good. That's where Steve hangs out.
Yeah.
I can hang out with the cat all day.
A little apartment in the hayloft with Steve. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be condemned, but, you know, whatever.
Well, I mean, we're not going in there. So it's fine. Yeah, but okay, let's just move on to the second story then.
Okay. Well, are you ready? That was a question. Are you ready?
Oh, I thought there was more.
No.
I thought that you were going to ask me if I was ready for something. Just in general, like, is my body ready?
Oh, okay. Well, let's try that again.
Okay.
Are you ready to hear the story of...
I thought you were going to ask me if my body was ready.
Well, I thought we had decided we couldn't do that.
I thought you were going to say, okay, is your body ready? No, we're not doing that, apparently.
Let me try this again.
All right.
Are you ready for the story of the voodoo priestess Julia Brown and her voodoo hurricane?
Yes. There's too many voodoos in there, though.
Maybe I should try that with less voodoo. All right, we're talking about Julia Brown and the Manchac Swamp.
Okay.
In Louisiana. Did I say Louisiana?
I don't know. You may have. I don't listen to most of the things that happen on this show.
Oh, so rude. Anyway, so the Manchac Swamp is about half hour northwest of New Orleans, and it's a big old swamp. It's on the edge of Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah.
And it's a swamp. I mean, like, imagine swamp in your head. That's about it. Go look up the pictures. It's really eerie and cool and lots of cypress trees and hanging vines and alligators. Lots of alligators. And it used to be a logging area, so when you're out in the swamp on a boat, you need to be careful about floating logs because some of the times, you know, you'll get a lot of logs floating up and all of that. And,
interesting.
Anyway, yeah, logs.
Like when you're on your fan boats in the bayou?
Yeah, well, I mean, this particular area gets a lot of, there's a bunch of tourists, like boat excursions out here because it's haunted.
Right.
So you get a lot of the touristy creepy crawlies, but
it's a haunted swamp?
It is a haunted swamp.
Uh-oh.
All right, so this area is also where our old friend the Rougarou is said to hang out.
Hey.
So not only do you have a creepy voodoo priestess lady hanging out, you also got a werewolf and alligators, which I'd personally be worried about the alligators foremost.
Yeah, because they're actually real.
Well, I mean, the others could be real too, but definitely the alligators.
Yeah. Just, the alligators are, okay, alligators are in fact real. The other things could be real if you have a very loose sense of what real means.
And on top of the alligators and the rougarou and the voodoo lady, you're in a swamp, so you know those fucking mosquitoes are going to be awful.
Yeah, they're voodoo mosquitoes.
Voodoo mosquitoes. And probably snakes and all sorts of other creepy, crawly, awful
voodoo
stuff.
Snakes.
No, I think they're just regular snakes. Just a guess.
Well.
Anywho.
Are they trouser snakes?
Probably not. No, not funny. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about the voodoo queen, Julia Brown. Now, when you're Googling this, if anybody's interested in looking it up, Julia Brown is by far what she's known as most often.
What?
But they also call her in some stories Julia White or Julia Black. So white, black, or brown, take your pick. But brown is what she is most often called.
She's Julia some color on the spectrum.
Yes.
Julia fuchsia.
Julia neutral palette. I don't know.
I don't like that at all.
Anyway, so
Julia Purple Mountain Majesty.
Oh, I like that color. Anyway, so Julia Brown is, like I said, she was a voodoo priestess. And she was living in a town called Frenier at the turn of the 20th century. And she was known as sort of a medicine woman in the area.
A voodoo lady.
Yes. Now, what you need to know about this particular area is that there was a little section back off, like I said, of Lake Pontchartrain, and they were mostly surviving on there were a lot of sharecroppers in the area, and the area grew a lot of cabbages. They grew a lot of cabbages and peas. Black-eyed peas grew really well out there
in the swamp.
Yeah,
Is that where black-eyed peas come from? Marshy land, like a rice paddy or something.
I have no idea. My grandparents only ever grew field peas, so I don't know.
Yeah, because they had a field.
Yeah.
They didn't have a swamp.
You're right.
Are black-eyed peas also called swamp peas?
I don't think so.
I feel like I've heard the term swamp peas before.
You're asking questions and I don't know the answer.
Somebody send us an email or something if there is such a thing as swamp peas. Because I feel like I've heard the term swamp peas.
All right. Well, if you want to know, just Google it. But
I'm not going to do that. We spend too much time Googling on this show.
All right. Well, so like I said, they have some farming, some basic agriculture. There was a lot of logging going on, like I said before. But this place was very isolated when it comes to just about everything. So if they wanted to go to a doctor, they had to pay, the fare to get on the train, ride a couple of hours to New Orleans. And even then, the train only actually ran maybe once a week from there to New Orleans. And so really, there was no other way to get services and stuff like that unless you went to New Orleans. So they sort of went with what they had. And what they had was a creepy old voodoo lady that
loves swamp peas.
I don't know if she likes swamp peas or not. I don't even know what a swamp pea is, honestly, but she was the lady that went out and got herbs and made poultices and whatnot, Something was better than nothing, I guess, is the point. So people really respected her as part of the community. They were also a little freaked out by her because she was a voodoo lady, and that can be a little disturbing, I guess, if you don't really know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And she was also known for her charms and her curses, like any self-respecting voodoo lady would be. But her weird thing was she liked to sit on her guitar. Lord. Nope, strike that, reverse.
She should try playing it.
She sat on her porch with her guitar and she would make up these creepy little songs. And one of the songs that she sang most often and that all of the neighbors used to hear her sing went like this.
Uh-oh. Are you going to sing it?
I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to say it. It's real short. She always said, "One day I'm going to die and I'm going to take the whole town with me." And she'd sing that over and over and over. So I don't know if that was just chanting or she just liked to... Couldn't come up with a second verse. I don't know.
I just want to say there are a couple of things that apparently go by swamp peas.
Okay.
And one of them looks a whole lot like black-eyed peas.
All right.
It's called a Atchafalaya swamp pea. It's a heirloom pea.
Okay.
Thank y'all for tuning in to
Southern peas.
Southern swamp peas. Southern swamp crops. And yeah, from Lafayette, Louisiana for the most part.
Cool. Well, that might be what they were growing.
Well, I don't know. That's one person from Lafayette planted them in their swamp peas. Maybe that's what I was looking at. I saw that after I said it. I'm sorry.
Alrighty then.
Oh, good old swamp peas.
Are you even paying attention to what I'm saying?
I am, but you told me to Google swamp peas, and
I didn't actually mean you to Google swamp peas.
Oh. Well.
Anyway.
If anybody has more information about the Atchafalaya seed, please send us an email.
So all of our botanist listeners, get on that shit. Anyway, so with that being said, in fact, she did die.
She died?
She did. Because she got old and that's what happens.
Were the peas keeping her alive?
Mitchell, can you drop the peas?
No, I'm serious. I really don't know what the thing was.
Because you weren't paying attention. You were Googling peas.
That's correct. Googling peas. Googling peas.
No, if you'll remember... Well, you probably don't remember because you weren't paying attention.
I don't.
She was creepy, and she liked to sit on her front porch, and she kept singing songs, and the song she sang over and over and over again was, "One day I'm gonna die and take the whole town with me."
Right, I remember that.
Well, she died. And
where'd the town go?
We're getting there.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
On September the 29th of 1915, it was her funeral. And a massive hurricane swept in from the Caribbean.
Was this Katrina?
No, it's 1915, asshole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, shot in the dark.
I was ready. Yeah.
How high did the storm surge get in Frenier, where Julia lived? Was it
I don't know what that means.
The storm surge. So how high did the flood get?
Flood, okay. Did the levees break?
There probably wasn't a levee then, was there?
I don't know. I mean, New Orleans had to come from somewhere.
I don't know when the levees were built on Pontchartrain.
Oh.
Anyway, how high did the storm surge get in Frenier? Was it A, 8 feet? Was it B, 13 feet? Or was it C, 21 feet?
21 feet. I'm just going as high as it can go.
You're wrong. It was 13 feet.
Damn it. I haven't gotten a shot in the dark in... It feels like years.
Yeah, because you get super cocky and confident saying all like... Oh, you're so bad, I can read you.
Well, you've got
making them harder. Also, can I have one of that? Because I want to try that.
You want a shot?
Yeah, gimme.
All right, hold on. Let me pour mine. All right. Here you go. You pour you one.
Oh, give me a shot glass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, my doll. Okay, ready?
Oh.
1, 2, 3. It's not bad, but you do feel it in your nose.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was delicious, but I did feel the alcohol in the back of my nose.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just drinking that much straight liquor at a time always does that to me.
Yeah.
It makes me go, oh. Oh.
All right,
upsetting.
So we know that there was a hurricane.
Hold on real quick. I forgot something. Okay. Go ahead.
You happy now?
No, but the
show must continue.
Yeah, show must go on.
All right. Well, I've told you that there was a hurricane, and in fact there was. But what caused the hurricane? I believe.
Usually tropical pressure systems and currents.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be scientific about it.
I would like to be scientific about it. Thank you.
Sucks for you because we're a ghost podcast.
Usually, though, in at least all of the cases I know of hurricanes, it's normally air pressure and ocean currents that cause the spinning and the moisture. But, you know, I'm no meteorologist or a voodoo lady. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, the history and the folklore of the area is that Julia is the one that put that curse on the entire swamp, and they said that she died, and in dying she was going to take the whole town with her.
She did
and
say
at
that.
her funeral, the hurricane came in and wiped out the entire town. And I'm going to read you a passage from the New Orleans Times-Picayune from October the 2nd of 1915. Picayune. And I will tell you that it has some offensive language in it.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna say the words.
Oh, Leah.
But I'm just saying, like, this isn't how I talk. This is a Southern newspaper in 1915. This is not what I would choose to say.
Okay. Well, we'll take it as we get it, I believe.
Right. And this is the quote.
Okay.
It says, "Many pranks were played by wind and tide. Negroes had gathered for miles around to attend the funeral of Aunt Julia Brown, an old negress who was well known in that section and was a big property owner. The funeral was scheduled, and Aunt Julia had been placed in her casket, and the casket in turn had been placed in the customary wooden box and sealed. At 4 o'clock, however, the storm had become so violent that the Negroes left the house in a stampede, abandoning the corpse. The corpse was found Thursday, and so was the wooden box, but the casket has never been found." So basically, what happened...
That language wasn't too terrible.
Yeah, but I don't like
dated.
the word Negroes. It makes me very uncomfortable.
I know. It's just, it's dated language. At least it's not terrible language.
The white guilt just gets on me, and it gets all tingly, and I don't like it.
You can't rub it off with a washcloth.
Makes me feel like I need to take a hot shower. It's awful.
Gross.
Anyway, I apologize for that, y'all. Anyway, so like I said, in the area of Frenier, which is actually no longer there because that hurricane wiped it the fuck out, the storm surge rose 13 feet. The winds got as high as 125 miles an hour, and a lot of the people in the town sought refuge in, the railroad depot. Well, it turns out that was a bad idea because the railroad depot collapsed and killed 25 people just straight out. And close to 300 people in Louisiana died with that particular hurricane. And over 60 in Frenier itself. And when the storm had blown through, all 3 of the little towns that were in that swamp area had been completely destroyed. All the homes were flattened. The buildings were gone. Miles and miles of the railroad tracks were pulled up and blown away. And it was just absolute, utter devastation. And out of that folklore, that story, it grew and grew and grew. And they do say that that particular swamp is still haunted because there are tons of bodies that were never recovered that are at the bottom of that swamp. The bodies that they did recover were all buried in a mass grave. And that graveyard is still there. And if you want to pay some overpriced tour boat folk, they will take you out there and they will tell you all about it.
I'm okay.
You can Google that shit. There's tour boats. There's a specific tour group that goes out there. But basically, if you believe the legends, Julia put that curse on the town because she felt like she had been taken for granted as their only doctor. They didn't really accept her, that kind of thing. So at her funeral, she just had a spell and, fucked up the entire town.
Well, I mean, that sucks. I don't want that to have happened. But, no, she didn't.
Or maybe she did. There's tons of paranormal shows, and oh my god, so many awesome things on YouTube of just like, oh, bless their hearts. Like, there's some really fun YouTube documentaries and like ghost hunter, paranormal kind of things that I highly recommend. Just YouTube it. It's pretty great. But yeah, there are people that have actually gone out and looked through the census records, and it turns out that Julia was a real person. She was born Julia Bernard in Louisiana around 1845, and she married a man named Celestin Brown in 1880. And they became sharecroppers in that area on a 40-acre homestead plot. So that was ostensibly the area.
So they were real people.
They were real people.
She was real. But
she was real, and obviously the census doesn't say anything about her being a voodoo priestess, because who lists occupation a voodoo priestess?
I know.
Yeah, so probably not. But I mean, I would think that this is a really weird, awful coincidence. But I mean, maybe she was a voodoo crazy lady that was powerful and real. Who knows?
I don't.
I mean, you know.
I'm pretty sure she wasn't, but I don't know that.
But I mean, she did sing that song, and she did say...
She did, and she brought the hurricane.
And there was a hurricane that, like, literally, like, there's nothing left of that town anymore. At all. Well, except the bodies.
They could have rebuilt.
Mm-hmm. And so now they say that... And like I said, please watch those paranormal investigator videos. They're fantastic. Of people that go out to the swamp and do EVP sessions and all sorts of stuff with it. They say that the swamp is not only haunted by that Rougarou, because, of course, we got your Rougarou, but you've also got Julia's spirit herself, and she haunts the shit out of that swamp, like just wandering around on the edges of the lakes, cackling and screaming, and just all sorts of spooky paranormal nonsense. And then there are also all of the people that died in the hurricane, and apparently just there's a really awful feeling when you go out there, or it could be the humidity. I don't know.
It's either I was gonna say it's either spirits or it's humidity and knowing that you're in a swamp. Because
where hundreds of people are under the water. Like, it has been, like, for a really long time after that hurricane happened, bodies would pop up out of the swamp every so often, because they would, you know, naturally just float to the surface after they were freed from whatever was keeping them down there. So, like, that was a pretty regular occurrence for a while.
That makes me feel bad.
Yeah, kind of gross, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also, like I said, all of those alligators to contend with. But then I read a lot of shit about this because I was very interested. And there are some other voodoo practitioners, like today, that have been interviewed about her, and they all were of the opinion that the kind of voodoo that she was doing wasn't malevolent in any way, and they said that it was more likely that she was just trying to... that she knew what was going to happen, and she was trying to warn them to get out of there.
It was entertainment voodoo.
Well, I mean, there's different kinds. There's stuff that's healing and helping in white, and there's, you know, like white magic.
Did you say white?
Well, you've heard... Not like that, Mitchell.
I didn't know what you meant.
Like, you know, like you've got white magic and black magic.
There's that
you've
white
got
people voodoo. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm sorry.
I mean... You've got things that are the light, happy, healthy, helping
white people
kind of
voodoo
thing.
is hexing your pumpkin spice latte.
Did you put soy in this?
White people voodoo is cutting the heel off your Ugg boot.
I don't think Ugg boots have heels.
Well, you cutting... fuck it. You're just fucking up your Ugg boot.
No, but like I said, a lot of the people that are like actually in the voodoo kind of tradition say that they think that it was more of she had a premonition of what was going to happen and she was warning the people.
It was fun voodoo.
But there's also another sort of wrinkle in this story.
Hey.
Where there was a bridge that was built over this swamp, and it was completely, like, it crumbled and, like, was destroyed, and they had to replace it. And everybody in the local area was like, oh shit, the hex of the voodoo lady totally got the bridge. But they've rebuilt the bridge in the 70s and like it's still there. It's fine. So I guess like voodoo doesn't deal with concrete. I don't know.
Well, unless you hex the concrete with your voodoo.
Well, no, I guess the hex was just the general area, and they put the bridge in, and the bridge fucked up, and that was the hex. But like they built a better bridge.
Well,
it's a really big bridge. It's a nice one. It's like the second longest bridge over water in the world or something.
Like a bridge over
Hexy swampland.
Oh, you're going with voodoo. Okay.
Sorry.
Like a bridge over voodooed water. Oh,
go
man.
with Hexy
we
Swampland.
should release an album.
No. No.
The soft, sultry sounds of Southern Spirit.
With such great hits as
Bridge over voodooed water. That's our hit.
very samasticious.
Yeah. Very samasticious.
If y'all didn't know, we like to sing songs and just put our dogs' names in it, and it gets weird.
We sing to our dogs.
We do.
It's
but
just
with
a
their
good thing-
names in it.
Yeah, it's just a good thing we haven't recorded that yet. Let's try not to.
Okay, deal.
Let's do our best to not let people know how weird we are. White people kiss their dogs.
I love Kimmy Schmidt so much.
If anyone doesn't know that, it's an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt reference, and it is so true. We kiss the fuck out of our dogs.
They're so sweet.
They are. They're very cute. We really do. I've said it before, but we really do need to post more pictures of them and everything.
We do.
I'm sorry. Is this story over?
It is.
Okay.
She fucked up that shit, and
I
like
didn't
now
know that.
she's. I mean, like you can still go out and visit and all that, and it's supposed to still be really creepy. And I mean, there are ghosts and apparitions and all that fun stuff in the swamp, but. I mean, all the skeptics say it's swamp gas. All the people that believe say it's the dead people from the hurricane.
We did make chili over the weekend, and I got some fucking swamp gas.
That is not incorrect, y'all. I about farted myself out of my office, and I don't mean to be gross.
Hold on. That's
But
not ladylike.
I do have a private office, and it's not huge, but like it's okay. And I farted myself out of that office. I had to leave the door open and spray Febreze in it.
Leah.
I'm sorry. You should probably cut that out.
Yeah. Leah, you're going to be real upset when you listen to this before it releases.
I'm not
You're going to
sober.
be like, cut out those 3 minutes where you talked about my farting.
It was the rankest smell.
Stop, Leah. That's enough. Jesus.
You're not allowed to have chili anymore.
Let's go to a toast.
But my toast isn't very good this week.
Okay. Well, then let's just not do it.
No.
Okay. Somewhere in there, rhyme bean fart.
Damn it! Can you pause and let me write something new?
Are you gonna write bean fart?
No.
Okay. I did pause. Leah did not write bean fart. We just laughed for another 3 minutes. Now here we are. Take us away.
I'm sorry, y'all. You're just gonna have to deal with my subpar rhymes today. Everybody out there in podcast land, I love you all. You're amazing. I want you to get that cup. I want you to hoist it high into the sky, and I want you to toast with me the poor, poor victims of the all-day murder and that voodoo badass queen, Julia Brown.
Shit.
All right. If you're on the lam and running for the border, be sure you've got your supplies in order. Julia Brown was a queen of voodoo. The day she died, a hurricane blew through. Drink!
You're right, that one kind of sucked.
I told you it was awful. I'm sorry.
You should put bean fart in there somewhere. Really liven it up. Somewhere in there. Just drop.
I threw vicious darts from my butt called bean farts.
No, like
there
it
you
didn't
go.
it didn't have to be the end like the rhyme beat. It could have been in the middle. Like Julia Brown had bean farts, she did, and then you just rhyme off of did or she did. Her hurricane did. I don't know. I can't rhyme. not a rhymer.
I'm sorry, guys. That was a really subpar toast, and I promise I'll do better next time.
It was fine. Something that might make it a little better is that we can finally announce that I would say in a week to 2 weeks after this episode releases on Sunday, we're going to have Patreon ready. And the exciting thing about that is we got a brand new sticker that we're going to come out with. It's not ready yet, but it's in the process of being ordered. So once we get those images, we can show them to you. But be looking probably 1 week from when this is released, but maybe 2. We don't know yet. It actually is quite a bit of work, so we've been working on it and been busy. But Patreon will be coming very shortly, and there will be some exclusive content via Patreon.
So get those debit card ready, y'all.
Yeah, those debit card. All of you, we need one universal debit card.
Please.
For all of our listeners. Southern Spirits debit account. Everybody put in.
I'll take Venmo too. Maybe PayPal. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the same, really. So, we need people to contribute to our alcohol fund, maybe. I mean, we don't need it, but it'd be real nice.
I was gonna say, this shit's getting expensive.
It'd be real nice if we didn't have to buy liquor all the time.
Yeah.
But we should really just be talking to the distributors about, hey, can you just give us, like, a bottle?
Can you just have one of these fall off the truck, please?
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Like, I don't want it to be fishy, but, you know, just we'll review it for you. We'll let people know to come drink it or not.
Anybody gives a damn about what we think, y'all.
Yeah, I doubt that anyone has tried anything because of what I've said so far.
I think a few people have.
Hopefully, because
most of them have been in our kitchen and our friends just taking bottles off the wall and taking a swig of it, but they've tried it.
Yeah, I don't know that they listened. They just came in and were like, let me try that. Okay.
Yeah.
Have at it. Anyway, Patreon should be up 1 to 2 weeks, ready to go. So look for it.
Maybe.
Join it. Be part of the possum passel, I think is what we decided we wanted to call people.
I hadn't decided to tell anybody that yet, but that's exciting. Possum passel.
Should I take that out?
No.
Okay. Because apparently we like possums.
Now, okay, so, like, I really like possums, and I'm a little salty that the moon possums didn't become a thing, so instead of them being moon possums, we're just going to be possums. And did you know that a family of possums is called a passel? Because I didn't, and we used the word passel the other day, like...
in one of our previous episodes,
which was
I didn't know what it meant.
And he didn't know what a passel was, and then we were, like, Googling, and a family of possums is a passel, and I don't know, I like alliteration. My name is Leah Lawrence. Our show is Southern Spirits. We need a possum passel. So our Patreon family is going to be the possum passel, and the sticker is going to have a wonderful possum on it. Y'all just look forward to that. Hopefully there will be possum passel t-shirts, possum passel mugs.
There should be, but like we said, we're not quite done getting everything together.
We're not there yet.
But we're close.
But I'm really leaning towards possum passel. So if anybody has a better name.
I was talking about the t-shirt mostly, because everything else is, you know, like the sticker's pretty much set.
Yeah.
We're ready to go, but we want to do something with the t-shirt too. So.
But yeah, so if you are interested in being a part of the possum passel, please keep an eye out for that Patreon.
Yeah, which we'll announce everything on social medias and everything when it's ready. So that'll be ready to go. So, and we hope that you're enjoying Tailgate Tales. Keep tuning in every Saturday. Find those things, because we sure are enjoying them.
They're real fun, y'all.
We are having a lot of fun. It's fun to just do something quick and get it out of the way. Instead of sitting here for forever, you know.
Hey, I enjoy sitting here for forever. It's sort of my hobby.
I do too. Yeah, it's sort of like what we're doing here. I really enjoy it too, but I get berated for enjoying it, so. Because they're sinister stories. But, you know, whatever.
What?
The stories.
Yeah.
You berated me for enjoying them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about... I listened to another podcast that I really love called Paranormal Chicks. They're from Mississippi. Would highly recommend them. And their listener episodes are called Sinister Sightings. And I was like, have y'all been listening to that too? And no, he's just being weird. Okay, sorry. Anyway...
My
Love y'all.
podcasts I stick to are Doug Loves Movies and Harmontown
All right, well,
and The Smartest Man in the World.
if anybody needs some recommendations for some creepy stuff that's similar to us, come to me because I know all the folks. And like I said, a Paranormal Chicks,
I know all the folks.
they're great. And like I said, they're also from Mississippi. Love them to death. They're hysterical. Go check them out too. Not
All
a
right.
sponsor. I don't even think
No.
they know I exist. I just really like their show.
No, it'd be awesome if they let us do some ads though. What?
No, I'm good. I just really like them. Anyway, you ready to outro?
Yeah, I sure am. Find us on all your social media platforms. Just search for Southern Spirits because we are S Spirits Podcast on Twitter, but everywhere else we're Southern Spirits Podcast. So find us on all your social media platforms. If you have any fun stories or alcohols that I should try, send us an email to southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. Please give us some reviews. Do them on iTunes or Facebook or anywhere that you can find to review us. Just send us a screenshot of that with your address, and we'll send you a pack of our original stickers. 5 stickers, I think, is what you'll get for those.
Yep.
So do that. Just review us. Let your friends know about us. Spread the word a little bit. Help us grow. Because we're doing so well so far, so let's keep it up. What else? Continue listening to Tailgate Tales. That fun little series. I'm enjoying them.
Yes, I
Leah's
do.
enjoying them. I feel like there's something. Oh, the P.O. Box. If you have any postcards or anything else you would like to send us, send them to our P.O. Box, which is P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama. That's HARTSELLE 35640. And we will see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.